Hi boys and girls, today I'm going to show you one of my favourite books. This is called Brick, Who Found Herself in Architecture, written by Joshua David Stein. And it is a story about this little brick who travels far from her home to visit castles and synagogues, the Great Wall, lots of fortresses, and she is on search for her place in the world. It is such a beautiful story. The illustrations are divine. I'm going to show you a few. And we are going to draw each of these buildings on the front cover to create our own artwork. Looks pretty cool. So let's see. What we need is black paper, coloured paper. We need a Sharpie marker, some scissors and glue. And let's get drawing. So this book begins with Brick's mother saying, "Great things begin with small bricks. Look around and you will see." And so little Brick begins her journey and she goes off around the world to visit castles that have fallen down. She visits churches, mosques and synagogues. And what I love about this book is all of the beautiful use of line and shape. Here's a little red brick cottage. And also in the back are references to all of the places that she visits and a little biography about them. It is such a beautiful book and I'm so glad that we can use it for our inspiration. I'm going to leave it on the front cover page and we're going to do some of these drawings for our artwork today. So the first building that I'm going to draw on one of my pieces of paper, I think I'm going to start with this one here. So I'm going to try and fill up this whole space with this drawing of this building. Okay, so the first thing is a long skinny rectangle. I wonder where this building is from, I'm not quite sure. A long skinny rectangle and it has a pointed roof. That wasn't very good. And then next to it is a wider rectangle. I'm kind of going right to the edge if I can. And then the next roof is right to the top. It's got a flat roof on it, doesn't it? And then straight back down. Okay, now I have a little chimney here, which I'm going to place just here, this, with some bricks. So the trick with the bricks is long lines and then a stroke, and then on the row above your stroke is in different positions. So then they kind of look like they're stacked on top of each other. And I can draw some strokes for the top of the roof and some strokes here too. Now we don't have to have our lines really straight and perfect for these drawings. It actually looks kind of nice when they're a little bit wonky. Okay, now we're going to do our windows. So our windows are made up of two squares next to each other and then one bigger rectangle around all of it. Let's do that across all of our building. And when we come to the bigger section, these windows are a little different. They are taller, skinnier ones, so I'll probably fit 3 across my, oh, mine are a bit big. I'm only going to fit 2, but you could fit 3. And if yours looks smaller than mine, or maybe they're fatter, skinnier, longer, that's okay. It might depend on the size of your paper. I'm going to draw some lines first, and they have gaps between, in these little bits where the window are, I'm just going to have to put a tiny line because the window covers it up. Tiny lines. Okay, now you're going to have to be very careful at where we're going to add the bricks. So I can see I'm going to add some bricks along this line here, and then only a few strokes down the sides, and then I can do a full line again. So it's a good idea to have different widths of bricks that kind of make it a little interesting to look at. Some might be closer together, some might be further apart. And I'm going to put some bricks on my second building after I finish this one. Okay, we've got our first building done. Now let's grab our second piece of paper. Basil's Cathedral. It is a really, really beautiful cathedral with all of these fun tops on the kind of roof. So let's start with a dome top. So I'm going to draw a line like this, and then I'm going to draw one of these domes on the top. Up to the top, maybe a little circle up there and a point. This is a little wonky, but yours might be a bit more symmetrical. Okay, now we will draw a kind of turret like this, and over here I might draw another dome top. Let's see if I can get this one a bit more symmetrical. That's better. And now the same over here, but maybe it's a bit lower. So I've got my rectangle and my dome on top. A little wonky, that's okay. Alright, so let's draw a little kind of turret here as well, and here. And now I want these three to join up. So if I put another very large rectangle there, and now I'm going to make this one come in. I'm going to put some arches over here and some arches over here. I'm going to put a very large archway as if it's a door to walk through, and this will connect, and then these will come all the way down, all the way down. Now you guys can fill your outline with any kind of details. For this piece, I've got a really tall, skinny piece of paper to draw this building here. So I think that it is actually a castle by the look of the top here. So we've got a lot of bricks and a lot of windows. So we're going to start with a rectangle that doesn't go all the way to the top of our page, and let's put a kind of castle-like top to this one. Just like this, and all the way down, and go all the way to the top, and then do my castle-like top as well, all the way to the edge of my page. If I don't fit in a full block, it's okay to do a skinny one, and just try and go along the edge all the way down. And you know what, I'm actually going to do mine like in a dome, or a half semicircle like this. I think that looks kind of fun. So they're quite skinny. And I'm going to make that line double width so it stands out, it's quite black. So I'm going to do that all the way down this rectangle part of my castle, down here. And then down here, I'm going to do another line. Let's do those. The next one is this building. So I'm going to draw this building on this kind of square piece of paper. Yours might be a little bit taller, which just means yours will be longer and skinnier. So for this one, it's actually got quite a few curved lines. So I'm going to start with a curved rectangle, sort of like we're drawing a cake. And then the next one, the line comes up with a curve and down, and these 2 points are in line with each other. Then the next one would come up, curve the top and down, and I'll probably fit one more. You might fit more, which is fine. Our line comes up, curve the top and down as well. Now on the top I've got some windows. So fit as many windows as you can in. I can only fit 3. Now the bricks on this one are the same as what we've done before, except we're going to curve our lines, okay? Curve them across, don't do straight ones. Now some of them can even go into a line like this, which makes it look interesting, and like the bricks are kind of stacked on top of each other. And then we're going to add all the repetitive bricks. So some are going to be very close together, and then some will be further apart. So each line you can do something different, and that's going to make it look quite detailed, even though you're just using really simple uses of line. Now for my final picture, I'm actually going to turn to a page where I really like this cottage. See this little red brick cottage? That's what we're going to do on this one. So you need a rectangle, and this is how we're going to draw this one. We're going to start with a triangle in the top left-hand corner that looks like this. So we're doing this roof of the red cottage. Then we can put a line at the bottom. So it's really a really big triangle. And then we're going to draw all the way across the top. Don't get to the end. Then I'm going to come down on an angle and then join this one up. And then I'm going to put a square underneath that triangle. That line across the edge of my page just to finish off the edge of the house. And all I need to do now is add some windows. So my windows will have a little long rectangle and then a bigger box underneath with some bars on the windows. So here are all my buildings inspired by our book. Now you know what's next? We are going to cut around the edges, and then we are going to glue them on this black page. So let's start cutting out our buildings.